Heyo, what's up YouTube? This is Orb giving you part 2 of my sniping 101. And today we're playing some team deathmatch on ambush. I'm rocking away with the R700, and the perks I'm having in this game are what am I having? I'm having bomb squad, I'm having sleight of hand, and I'm having deep impact with that because I'm playing hardcore mode. So don't really need that stopping power or any of the other perks if you're wondering about that. So okay, today we're gonna talk about picking the right sidearm, picking the right gun to go with that sniper. If you ever have to break out the gun, you should have a gun that you're comfortable with and that can cause a lot of damage. So I thought we would discuss the sidearm, but also go into some of the perks that I left out in the previous episode, because I've been getting some messages about people asking, why didn't you talk about this perk or that perk? So I thought I would get into that and answer some of the messages as well, while doing this commentary. So yeah, as I said, a lot of messages. Some people wondering which sniper I prefer the most, and I would either have to go with the R700 or the M40 for best sniper overall. And if you make me pick one of them, I think I would have to go with the M40. And I chuckle a bit when I say this, because this is actually my best gameplay ever with the snipers. So and I'm playing with R700, as I said, and yeah. But if you make me pick, I would have to go with M40, just because that extra bullet in the clip. Yeah, it can really come in handy when you're in tight situations and you need that last bullet, as I'm sure you can understand. So sorry, just gonna get some water here. H2O, man. I love it. Okay, so starting it off then, in the last episode I talked about perks and such, and I actually forgot to mention, because we talked about styles as well, playing aggressive versus defensive. And if you haven't checked out part 1, you can check it out right above me in 3, 2, 1, now. Click the annotation or wait to the end. I will put an annotation there as well if you feel like watching this whole 15-minute video. Anyways, okay, yeah, last episode we talked about styles and also perks. What I forgot to mention is that you can also switch up between playing aggressive and defensive, which can be very effective if you're feeling that the game isn't going your way. You're either not getting as much kills as you want, or you're dying too much. It can always be good to switch up the game. So what I'm proposing here is either you make 2 separate classes with the perks that I discussed in episode 1. So you do one for defensive sniping and one for aggressive sniping, but you could also do one separate class for being able to switch between both of these playstyles. So if you're a switcher, as I like to call it, you would go for bandolier, stopping power, and deep impact. And what does all these 3 perks have in common? And that is that they both they work for both scenarios. So you can you can still play defensive or aggressive and still make use of all the perks efficiently. So for instance, dead silences, that aim doesn't really work for defensive play. So, picking these 3 perks, bandolier, stopping power, and deep impact, you're sure to be able to make use of them in both playstyles. So, okay, now we've gotten that out of the way. Let's move on to the some of the perks that I left out in the previous episode. So, yeah, I've been getting a lot of PMs about people asking about, where is Iron Lungs? And I don't really think Iron Lungs is great for improving your playstyle. And also, if you're using ACOG, the Iron Lungs becomes useless and mute. So I hope you already knew that, but if you didn't, put down that Iron Lung and never pick them up again. but because useless with the ACOG, and I think they aren't really suitable. I mean, since it is a sniper perk, I guess it's suitable for sniping, but I don't necessarily think it's very good compared to what you can use instead. And if you're using Iron Lungs, you are bound to stay in one place too long, and that's never good. So even if you're defensive, you should move around, and even if you're playing defensive, I don't think deep impact is the way to go, because if you're using without Iron Lungs, you can hold your breath for 4 heartbeats. You have and then your character goes Michael J. Fox on your ass and starts having a seizure or something. So what Iron Lungs does, it add up 4 heartbeats, so you will actually get 8 heartbeats. And my problem with that is, if you stay in the scope for 8 heartbeats, that's never good, because a lot of things are happening in the map and you're not paying attention. You're just paying attention to that little piece of map you can see through the scope. So don't really want the Iron Lungs. And if you want to learn to quickscope, I've gotten a lot of questions about how do I quickscope better, how do I learn to quickscope, yada yada. And if you want to learn to quickscope, you gotta dump that Iron Lungs. So dump them and never look back. And as far as quickscoping goes, just want to mention this real quick. Just practice a lot. That's all the tips I can give you for quickscoping right now. I might look into it a bit, but just practice. And you want to position your scope right on the target as you're quickscoping them. And that's about it for now, I guess. I can perhaps look it up and talk about it in the third episode, but for now, that's all you're getting. Okay, so anyways, that was one. Let's move on to the second perk that people wanted me to talk about, and just gonna get some more water here. And okay, the second perk. People have been asking me, what about extreme sprinting? Really, guys? Really? Extreme sprinting for sniping? Okay, I can follow you as long as, it works as a surprise element during, the first moment or the first round of a match. But then what? Okay, so you get to that position, you're able to pick out 1, perhaps 2, or perhaps, if you're really good, 3 guys. Then what? You're standing there. Wouldn't you rather have deep impact, dead silence, or steady aim for that third perk, because you can use them so much more? Oh, sorry. Because you can use them so much more. I think it's much more. If you want to go for a lot of frags, I would suggest going for dead silence, steady aim, or deep impact instead of extreme sprinting, because extreme sprinting isn't really a sniper perk in my view. So if you're listening to my advice, go for the dead silence, steady aim, or deep impact for the third perk. So yeah, okay, now we covered the oh, what the fuck is wrong with my throat today? Okay, we covered the perks, and let's move on to some guns. So yeah, what guns do we have to pick from? We have the M9, we have the USP, we have the M1911, and we have the Deagle. So what gun to pick, and are we putting a silencer on the gun? Well, okay, what gun do I prefer? Well, I prefer rocking that Deagle for sure. It's a great gun, 2 bullets, 1 kill, and I just love it. As soon as you learn to handle the sort of large recoil that the Deagle has, it will be the most powerful gun in your arsenal. I even prefer Deagle over some rifles, so if you are in tight situations and you're not able, for some reason you're out of ammo, or you can't use your sniper, you want to have a gun that you can depend upon, picking off those opponents coming towards you. So I would suggest the deagle, of course. As I said, most powerful gun, and it's also the most used gun in Call of Duty 4. So, and I know just because it's the most used gun doesn't make it the best gun, but you know, there's a reason for a lot of people using it. And you know, if you're into that, a lot of pros use it, and you know, pros can't go wrong really. So yeah, if you're following my advice and a lot of other people's advices, you know, go for that deagle because it's very good. And of course, you can't silence it, so that goes out the window, of course. And yeah, you know, make up your own mind, of course. If you're you know, feeling, what you should be asking yourself is, you know, what works for me? Do I want the silence USP? Does that work good for my gameplay, my play style? If you want to be sneaky, you know, you might want to put on that silencer. I don't really appreciate silencer on snipers and pistols in general. Well, just because I don't want to lose any range at all. You know, if I fail or, you know, I'm out of ammo with the sniper, I want to be able to, you know, pick up that gun and be sure that whoever I'm shooting at, he's gonna die, whether he's, you know, 10 feet away or 5 feet away. I want to be able to bring him down and bring him down quick. So yeah, the deagle, I would advise you to get the deagle for sure. And just want to mention, you know, real quick before this gameplay comes to an end, that I'm still working on that sniper montage. But in the meantime, I released a short trailer for the movie, and you can watch it in 3, 2, 1. Bam! Right about there in the annotation, you have the link to the trailer. So be sure to check it out. Leave any comment or feedback that you feel is necessary. There we go. Good job. You know, what do you want to see? What don't you want to see? Any suggestions as to, you know, the quality or anything? You know, it will improve in the full movie. So I know I've taken out some clips with fraps, so the quality will improve in the the quality will improve in the final movie. There we go. And yeah, the gameplay is sort of wrapping up here. So yeah, you know, be sure to comment, thumb, and or subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it really does help me out a lot. And you know, just by, you know, taking that, you know, extra 1 second and thumbing the video up or down, you know, whatever you feel like, it still helps me out a lot, and I get a lot more exposure. And look at these guys. Bam! Go mad. So yeah, this has been Orb, and I hope you liked the gameplay commentary, and I hope you're excited about part 3. I'm gonna be discussing tips and tricks, giving you some insight into what really works for me as a sniper. So yeah, be sure to check that out, and I will leave you to the final part of the gameplay. So yeah, leave a comment or any feedback, and yeah, later guys. Bye.